now fall, whether they win or lose this game, will finish in last position in Group F. There was a big crowd in here for the earlier game between China and Qatar. China saw off a first half challenge from Qatar and then piled away, piled on the points, piled on the dunks, and they finished with a big win over the Qataris by a substantial margin. It was. Here is the Kazakhstan team. We see their number 5, Jerry Johnson. He's been the star so far. He was outstanding last night against Jordan, but he did not have enough help. Kazakhstan a little disappointing at the end last night. They fell away. They failed to compete late, and this is an opportunity for them to farewell the main draw with a more intense and more competitive performance. I'm Paulo Kennedy. I'm joined in commentary by Juanito Henson as we see the last of the Kazakhstanis being introduced. There's Vitaly Strepkov, the coach. Their opponent tonight, Korea. They very nearly upset China earlier in the tournament. They let a big lead slip and they fell down the stretch. And tonight they have some talented players. The question being, will stars like young Dong Nguyen play, or will they get a rest tonight? And Juanito Henson, what do you think their approach will be?
Well, Paul, no matter what happens in this game, the standings will remain as they are right now. Kazakhstan, even with a victory here, will still be in last place in this bracket. And Korea, win or lose, they will stay at number 3. So it's basically a no-bearing game. But bearing in the sense, Paul, that for Korea, they want to bring momentum into the knockout quarterfinals where they go up against Iran. So if you're Coach Kim Dong-Kwon, as you saw him on your screens, you want a big A game here from Korea. You want to be able to play some of your reserves, maybe extended minutes, but you want your A game.
Here we have a pause for the national anthems, starting with Kazakhstan. Just over 4 minutes till game time here in Changsha. two teams will exchange pleasantries and exchange gifts. There's nothing at stake other than pride in this game today. But we'll see, can Kazakhstan finish the main draw of this tournament with a little bit of style? They were good early on. Their game was built around the penetration of Jerry Johnson and the three-point shooting of their big men, as we see the referees for tonight from Kuwait, Philippines and Hong Kong. And that outstanding form earlier in the tournament built around Jerry Johnson, but last night against Jordan, he just didn't have enough help. My name's Paulo Kennedy. I'm joined by Cornito Henson, and who are the players from Kazakhstan that need to step up today for them to get a win?
Well, look at the roster of Kazakhstan. You mentioned Jerry Johnson. He had 26 points in that Kazakhstan loss to Jordan. You want to see a big game also from Anton Ponomarev. Klimov has been outstanding. Zhigulin gives him some distance from the center position. And you see the starting lineup here. Ilin has also been a big contributor for Kazakhstan.
No Jerry Johnson in that starting lineup. Rustam Mirzagaliev named as the point guard, and we'll see whether that's just an opportunity for the young player or whether Jerry Johnson is injured. He's out there warming up, so time will tell how much he gets used today as we have a look at the Korean team.
Here's the Korean team on your screens. Focus on number 10 player Cho Sung-min. He's been their key guy. Number 33 player, the center, who has tremendous range on his outside shot, Lee Seung-hun. And he'll also be playing extended minutes, possibly in this game. And I was talking about Korea having to play their A game in this game. As you see, Yang, Cho, Jong-kyu Kim, that's the standard starting lineup of Korea. No changes. I said that they want to bring their A game to the table, and I think that's important because you don't want a loss in this game, especially since last time out, Korea lost to Qatar 69-63.
And you imagine they'll be looking to put some distance between them and Kazakhstan early on so that they can rest some of their stars, particularly their older players like Yang Dong-guen, who's having a stellar tournament, probably his best FIBA Asia Championship at the ripe old age of 34. They've got about a minute until tip-off. There's the Kazakhstan team. Jerry Johnson standing beside the huddle there. You see Coach Strepkov giving his final instructions. And what's the approach they'll take today in terms of the style of game they want to play?
Well, without Jerry Johnson, that's a big question mark. You know that Ponomarev, he likes to hit it off the pick and pop situation. But that's playing with Jerry Johnson. We might see a different mode of attack here from Kazakhstan. And for Korea, you were talking about Yang. He leads the team. There you have him on your screens wearing number 4. Leading the team in 3 crucial departments. In points, 18.5 points. In rebounds, 6.2 rebounds and 6 assists a game. He's doing it all. That's Yang. He's the captain of the Korean national team. And one player whom you also want to see untracked very early in this game is Moon Tae-young. Really hasn't been able to play his usual game, what we're used to seeing him explode and generate big numbers. He's only averaging 4.6 points in this championships.
There is Ponomarev looking for some fine assistance in this game.
Well, again, the missing link here for Korea is Park Chan-hee, wearing number 7. Has not played at all in the FIBA Asian Championships with a dislocated finger. I think he'll miss the rest of the tournament.
Ready for action here in Cheongsa. It's Korea versus Kazakhstan in the final game of Stage 2 play. Korea already locked into the quarterfinals. It'll be a matchup with Iran. Kazakhstan will move to the classification games after this. We see some good ball movement there from Korea early. With Lee Seung-hun with the travel. It'll be Kazakhstan ball.
And very early, Cho Sung-min asking for the pass. Kim Dong-hwan, the coach of Korea, telling his boys, don't rush things, keep that ball moving. You've got the quick disadvantage over Kazakhstan, but Kazakhstan, they've got size.
There's Zhigulin. Yagaliev on the perimeter. And a turnover, early turnover for Kazakhstan. Here's the man we've been talking about, Yang Dong-guen. If they pick the All-Star 5 right now, I think he would be in it. Little exchange of passes and he's fouled, and he is so dynamic and so tough to guard.
He makes things happen for Korea. Just want to go back on the previous play. As you see here, this shot attempted by Young, and he was fouled, clipped on the arm. That previous play of Kazakhstan when they ran a pick and roll, the pass a little bit too late on the roll. You want the roller to get the pass while he's rolling. Once he's deep inside and you make a late pass, that pass is going to get picked off. So it's important for Kazakhstan to get some rhythm out of that pick and roll.
It sounds so simple. Unfortunately, it's not always quite so simple to execute.
Easier said than done, as they say.
Here's Mirzagaliev getting a start. Great moment for that young man, just 21 years of age. Here's Yargaliev looking inside. Good defense there from Lee. Shot clock down to 3. Yargaliev has to fire. Has it stripped from behind, and it's a shot clock violation. And if you're wondering whether Korea would be playing with intensity, you don't have to wonder anymore. That was some excellent defense.
Oh, without a doubt. We did say that Korea must play its A game here. You don't want to fall down twice in a row. I mean, they're recovering from that loss to Qatar. They want to be able to come back in a big way here. Looking forward to the knockout quarterfinals where they play number 2 team in the other bracket, and that's defending champion Iran. What a challenge for Korea.
Indeed, Cho Sung-min puts it inside. There's Moon. Moon Tae-young, you said they need to get him going. He has been struggling from the field so far in this tournament. Just 36% from 2-point range, and he'll be happy to see that one drop through the basket.
Well, he's a tough defender. He also does so many things on the floor here for Korea. That time, drawing the contact from Kazakhstan on the drive, Ponomarev.
We saw him have a nasty crash 2 nights ago where Joe Chi landed on top of him and hurted his back. This time he clashes heads with Moon. We see an early substitution as Sultanov checks into the game for Mirzagaliev. Coach Strebkov obviously not happy with the way the offense was being run. Here's Joe. He's going to look at the skip pass to Moon, and obviously Korea wanting to get him involved as well, and he hits his second bucket for the night.
That's 4 points now for Moon Tae-young. We did say that he's got to get his offense going in anticipation of the knockout quarterfinals. You know, Kazakhstan has won only once in these championships, managed to squeeze into the second round.
It was an impressive win over Chinese Taipei. They were able to slow their tempo down as Ilan fires from long range and misses. Shot clock violation, and I'm sure they'd have a similar plan today where they want to control the tempo, drain the shot clock down, and that time they went a little too far in terms of draining the shot clock.
I think they need to establish an inside game, but Ponomarev, while he's got the height, he likes to patrol the perimeter. He likes that outside shot more than posting up.
Here's Moon again, catch and shoot from the wing. This one misses. Ponomarev tracks down the rebound. Here's Sultanov. He hasn't played a lot of minutes so far in this tournament. He scored 8 points in 8 minutes. As Yargaliev goes to the basket and draws a foul. Now, Timur Sultanov, a 34-year-old, he's a reserve on this team. He played in the World Uni Games in 2003. Would you believe that? A long time ago now. First one good for Yargaliev. He's shooting 91% from the free throw line, leading Kazakhstan in this tournament and one of the leaders in the tournament with that sort of efficiency.
Well, going back to the 2014 Asian Games, both these teams actually faced off, and Kazakhstan losing to Korea 72-60. Respectable margin in that contest. Cho Sung-min with a 3-point shot. He's been struggling there since he exploded against China early in the tournament. In fact, it was against Jordan on opening night that he hit 5 of 7. He hasn't been able to recapture that form since, and they'll be hoping he gets on track tonight ahead of their big matchup with Iran on Thursday. Sultanov, an ambitious pass underneath. The referees are going to discuss whether that was tipped or not, and in fact it was. With just 3 seconds left in the shot clock here for Kazakhstan. No vision in the pass. At lane sufficiently clogged here by the South Korea defense.
Tough getting the ball in. tipped away again. That time it was by Kim Jong-kyu.
And now it's just 1 second on the shot clock here for Kazakhstan. Catch and shoot on the way here.
And I think they're trying to create some ideas on the run here. A couple of impromptu screens. Pomerev open. Here's Yargaliev. He shoots from distance. But he doesn't shoot it quite enough distance, and it's a shot clock violation. 6-2 for Korea after just over 3 minutes.
Paul, we were talking about the Asian Games just a while back. That was held in Incheon, South Korea, winning the gold medal. And in the semifinals, Kazakhstan losing to Iran. Kazakhstan actually finishing 4th in the tournament. Not a bad finish for Kazakhstan, and making it to the semifinals.
Shot clock at 8 for Korea. Popping out, looking dangerous. This time it's Moon firing again, and what a start for Moon Tae-young. 6 points on 3 of 4 shooting. And for a man who struggled to put the ball in the basket, he'll be feeling a lot better about himself right now.
I think Kazakhstan has scouted South Korea very, very well. Zikulin extending his defense and stopping Lee Seong-jun from getting the shot off.
Look at Young, so active defensively. Had 8 steals in a half against Lebanon.
Great job on the switch. Fast hands of Young.
And we see the foul at half court. We've been mentioning throughout this tournament the hashtag campaign, hashtag free the fast break. So we see less of that and more thunderous jams and exciting plays in the open court. There's Lee, hands off to Young. They'll go into a little bit of pick and roll. Young Dong, good slippery pass to Moon. He fires out to Lee. Lee Song-hyun can't connect. Kazakhstan with a chance to reduce this margin to 3 or 4. Sultanov fires and Ponomarev tracks it down. Ponomarev, he feeds so much off Jerry Johnson, as does Dmitry Klimov, and without him in the ball game,
it's a different Kazakhstan team.
There aren't the same open shooting opportunities as we get yet another shot clock violation. And when Johnson is on the floor, they look so dangerous. Opposition big men having to choose whether to cover penetration, whether to stay with the big man as he pops after the screen. And right now it's a little bit like pulling teeth for Kazakhstan at the offensive end.
Without Jerry Johnson, you're so right. Johnson had 4 assists last time out for Kazakhstan. And so they're missing his presence on the floor. There is very little smoothness in the orchestration in the half court for Kazakhstan so far.
And there, as Moon drives to the basket, dishes it out to Cho Sung-min. Shot clock down to 3. Cho will fight. It's a tough shot. 5 for the board, and Ilan comes up with it, and he's fouled. And on that possession, we saw Young Dong-gun posting up Sultanov. It's not often that the pint-sized Young gets to post up someone smaller than him, but he had a 6 centimeter, in fact a 3 centimeter advantage in that matchup. Although he couldn't make the most of it then. It's 8-2 to Korea. We're just over the halfway point of the first quarter.
And that's the position where Kazakhstan is most efficient in terms of size. But otherwise, they've got pretty good size here on the floor. And that size has given them, well, not so much separation in terms of the scores between these two teams.
There's Ilan dishing it to Yargaliev. He drives in. Nice jump step, but he takes some contact and he can't play through it. And now Cho with an opportunity in the open court. Nice dish. Oh, wonderful passing from Korea. With the big fella, Kim Jong-kyu. He went for the jam. He missed it. He thought he'd hang around upstairs for a while,
to be able to get the ball back.
And the referee didn't like that. The crowd enjoyed it. It'll be a Kazakhstan ball.
Well, Korea that time had the right idea of speeding it up. Kazakhstan playing a slow down tempo.
Inside, Ponomarev
draws
the foul and finishes with the left, and off-balance circus shot from Anton Ponomarev.
Now we were saying that he's not too comfortable playing the low post. He'd rather take the shots from the outside. That time, he's got to be able to use his size. He's got that advantage. Post up,
you know what,
and attack the inside defense. Yeah,
I think he hurt us. He went straight down low. He went to the left hand, tough finish, and a foul. There's a great comment by you about Korea playing with pace. We were both disappointed with their strategy against Qatar. In the first 3 or 4 minutes, they ran the Qataris off their legs. both in the open court and in the half court. They established a handy lead, but after that, they were just content to play slow down half court basketball, and not surprisingly, Qatar prevailed.
And it was a low scoring ball game. The count in that contest was 69-63, Korea losing, and previous to that, Korea was averaging about 83 points a game.
Lee Jong-hyun into the ball game, so is Kim Tae-sul at the point guard position. Now Cho Sung-min, he's looked aggressive so far. This time he defers to Lee. Tough shot from Lee Jong-hyun. Fall away jump shot from the big man, and he makes it stick. How about those skills, Cornito?
Well, you know that he's a defender, he's a block shot artist, but I didn't know he had that in his arsenal, outside shot. Here's a three-point basket.
Well, Dmitry Klimov definitely has that in his arsenal. He's been shooting at around 40% from long range. He had a horror night against Jordan last night, and I'm sure he's keen to bounce back and nail a few of those jump shots.
I tell you, Kazakhstan has done a good job of slowing down the tempo of this game.
Here's Kim Tae-sul.
Korea forced to play the half court here.
Cho with a three-pointer and another tough shot from Korea. Kazakhstan have been pretty happy with that defense the last two possessions, but it's 13-7 after about 7 minutes of play. Here's Klimov, shot clock at 10. This time he goes on the dribble. Ponomarev does likewise. It's stripped by Cho, but he's pinged with the foul. He offers some prayer to the referee, perhaps offering to forgive him for his sin of hitting him with a personal foul. That's the fourth one on Korea in this quarter.
New man on the floor.
Mirzagaliev in and Marchuk in for Kazakhstan. Of course, Marchuk, we saw him a few nights ago throw down a nice two-hand jam. He tried to repeat the dose last night, and much to the amusement of the crowd, the ball slipped out of his hands and flew out of court.
And who can forget that episode?
He's Klimov out inside. He's got 2 on the shot clock. He'll fall to the hook shot. And that was a little too much to ask for the Kazakh veteran there, as Kim Tae-sul looks to explore in transition. Goes to the pull-up jump shot. Nice move from Kim, and he finishes it off. 15-7 to Korea after 8 minutes.
You see Ponomarev asking to be replaced. They're doing a good job of slowing down this game, but I guess the pace is getting to Ponomarev, and he settles for the outside shot.
Little holding going on underneath the basket there from Lee Jong-hyun. He looks innocent enough, but he's been called for the foul.
Ponomarev is going back to the bench, huffing and puffing. Number 12 player Klimov, you saw him in your screens, and Smirnov checking in for Ponomarev.
Smirnov was another player for Kazakhstan who had a nightmare last night. His teammates, particularly Jerry Johnson, created a lot of good opportunities. He just wasn't able to finish them. Klimov can't finish that. Jerry Johnson, as we've mentioned, not in the ball game so far. Anatoly Kolesnikov not in the ball game. In fact, I can't even see him on the bench for Kazakhstan. So he may be missing this encounter.
No, we don't see Kolesnikov on the bench here of Kazakhstan. And he's an important player in that rotation.
He is averaging 10 points, 4 boards. Here's Kim Tae-sul again. It was a nice pull-up last time. This time he drives to the basket, feeds it off. Beautiful pass inside to Lee Song-hyun, and he finishes with the left hand.
And that kind of selfish basketball is what Korea will need when they play Iran in the knockout quarterfinals. They need to make that extra pass inside, because you know Haddadi's going to be there protecting the rim.
Nice move there from Marchuk. The shot wouldn't go, but Klimov cleaned up the rubbish. He's up for this game, obviously, after a poor performance last night.
It's a turnover against Korea. Korean coach Kim Dong-kwon asking for some more effort from his players.
Here's Klimov again, begging for the basketball. Defers to Smirnov. Now the shot clock to 10, so Yargaliev will start again, and he dances his way into the lane and finishes off with a tough 2-point basket.
And using the screen set up there by Klimov. Nice move. Kazakhstan keeping this close.
4-0 run for Kazakhstan, closes the margin to 5. Long range three-point bomb is off the mark there from Lee Jong-hyun. We've got Lee Jong-hyun and Lee Jung-hyun on the basketball court, so difficult job for commentators. There's Klimov fires from the top and nails it. He's up to 8 points, 2 or 3 from 2-point range. A good start for Dmitry Klimov.
And that's without Koleshnikov and Jerry Johnson. Kazakhstan getting some rhythm in its offense and slowing the pace down. Korea not able to get points in transition here.
Moon back into the game. Thought he was fouled. He'll get a side ball. Already 6 points for Moon Tae-young.
Now, we don't see too much quickness here in the movement of Korea in the half court. That's how Kazakhstan wants it.
Here's Kim with a runner. 1 on the clock, and it's no good. It's quarter time here in Chongsha. Some may say it's a dead rubber, but as Quinito's pointed out, there's a lot to work on for Korea before they take on the might of Iran in the quarterfinals. And at quarter time, it's only part of the job done. It's Korea leading 17-14.
Tactical game being played here by Kazakhstan. We expected Korea to come up with its A game. They need that coming off that loss to Qatar, but so far not too good for Korea. They are ahead, but only by 3. 3-pointers, both teams with just 1 3-point connection each. High percentages for both teams. Free throws 2 out of 2 for Korea. Rebounding, what a big difference. 3 offensive boards for Kazakhstan, none for Korea. But Korea with 5 assists. Turnovers for Kazakhstan. Those miscues hurting the Kazakhs.
Yeah, some difficult passes attempted inside. It was Korea early on, they looked very good. How about that pass from Lee inside to Moon?
Korea with just 1 3-point connection so far. And in that loss to Qatar, they were actually outscored from beyond the arc by Qatar. And South Korea is supposed to be a hot 3-point shooting team. That's their game.
There's Coach Vitaly Strebkov. He asked his team to lift. Marchuk took it to the basket. Klimov cleaned it up. How about that dancing move from Yargaliev? And then the passing inside and the finish. No, from Kim. He blew the dunk. The coach is able to laugh about it.
And Cho Soo-min, that's the only 3-point connection so far in the game for Korea. And for Cho, he only had 7 points in that loss to Qatar. He was 2 out of 11 from the floor, 18%. That's got to go up.
Coach Vitaly Strebkov there with his head in his hands. But with 2 of his key players not in the ball game, Anatoly Koleshnikov not at the venue, it appears, or certainly not on the bench. Jerry Johnson, he warmed up, he's in his clothes, he's ready to go, but so far he's been chained to the bench.
Ponomarev actually asked to be taken out during the first period.
A good opportunity here for some of the young players and some of the benchmen to earn their stripes as Yargaliev, oh, nice touch pass from Marchuk. He gets it back, fires from 3. He can't get that to fit. Kim Tae-sul with a rebound for Korea.
That would have tied the ball game. Can you imagine this effort being shown by this very young, very inexperienced Kazakhstan team?
Nice help defense there from Smirnov. And their intensity has risen. A couple of made baskets has given them hope. They've lifted. The pass across the floor. But Moon Song-gong can't finish that one, and it'll be Kazakhstan ball. You talk, they've struggled from 3-point range. They've struggled when they've been drawn into a half-court game, and that's exactly what's happened here.
Well, big problem for Korea here is to take control of the boards. That was their problem when they lost to Qatar. They were badly out-rebounded, 48-35. And in the offensive boards, it was 90-11, the advantage of Qatar over Korea. That's a problem that has to be solved.
Mirzagaliev with the steal. He feeds it to Klimov, and he lays it up and in. 17-16. And Korea haven't scored in the past 4 minutes of play. Strong move from Moon. Good help defense though. The Kazakhs sliding, helping, recovering. That time there's a drive to the basket from Lee Jong-hyun. He
And
draws
he's
a
asking
foul.
for 2 free throws.
I think
Watch
he's
it
got
right
it.
here. Yes, I think so. But his arm was hooked right there by Marchuk.
Marchuk was escorting him to the prom. He had the arms linked. He was hoping to avoid free throws, but he wasn't successful.
He's their man in the middle. Lee Jong-hyun of Korea. Back in the World Cup last year in Spain, he averaged over 3 block shots a game.
Second one rims around. It's corralled by Smirnov. Maxim Smirnov certainly looking more comfortable out in the court than he did last night. Here's Pavel Ilan. Good ball movement again. Look at the passing from the big man, and Klimov streaks to the basket and finishes it with the right hand.
Nice look, no look pass that time off the high post position. And we've got a tied ball game. And if you're Korean coach Kim Dong-kwon, this is exactly what you didn't want.
A couple of their key players off the court. No Yang Dong-guen, no Cho Sung-min. Seeing what some of the others can do. Strong drive from Moon, but he can't finish it. Marchuk, he's looking pretty comfortable as well, and he draws the foul from Kim. What have Korea got to do differently? How can they get pace into the ball game here?
They need to force some turnovers. I think that pressure has to be there. They're struggling here because of Kazakhstan's size.
They're playing zone defense, but it is a passive zone. Putting little pressure. And we saw last time Kazakhstan able to exchange passes. This time Smirnov was fouled, but didn't get the whistle. And he gives away a frustration foul at half court. Remonstrates with the referee and gets a gentle pat on the bottom from one of his teammates saying, let's get back on the job, because they have closed Korea down defensively. They've looked a lot better offensively, and they're tied at 18. We've been playing just over 2.5 minutes in the second quarter.
The question mark is, when will Yang come back? When will Cho Sung-min come back? When will Lee Seong-hyun come back? And Kazakhstan once more in the attack. No rhythm to the offense of Korea, and Kazakhstan now in the driver's seat.
What a feed from Mirzagaliev. Klimov once again streaking down the middle. He finishes it inside. He's got 14 points. Kazakhstan have the lead.
And here's a turnover against Korea. Klimov is now asking to be replaced. Ponomarev is checking in. So the lack of good rotation on the part of Kazakhstan.
We've got a timeout here. It's been a solid display. This man, Klimov, has been making things happen. Starting at the high post, sliding down the middle, and he's enjoying himself out there.
Well, he's playing at full throttle. And he's all fagged out with 6:53 to go here in this quarter, but Kazakhstan in the lead.
It's been impressive from Kazakhstan. It looked early on, Korea streaked to a 17-8 advantage. Since then, it's been a 12-1 run.
Well, there's no flow in the offense of Korea. I think Kazakhstan has done a good job defensively.
We hope you enjoyed that action from around the world of basketball. Of course, it's the Rio Olympics next year. That's what the winner of this tournament will qualify directly for. The semi-finalists, the other semi-finalists will go to the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament. But at the moment, Cornito, Korea have some issues they need to work out if they're going to be one of those 4 teams.
Oh, without a doubt. Right now, their only key player on the floor is Lee, wearing number 32. But they need some gunners, they need some shooters. The Korean style of game, we're not seeing it here in the second period. They need quickness, they need outside shooting.
It's long been a weakness of Korean basketball, but when they're flowing and shooting well, they're a dangerous proposition. But against bigger, stronger opponents, they get dragged into a half-court game in which they have no answers. You see a long 3-point bomb there from Lee Jong-hyun. He's been shooting 42% from there so far this tournament. And you know he's a scorer because at the World Uni Games in 2011, he averaged 21 points per game. That was second in the competition. And perhaps they need him shooting with confidence like that a little more often. There's the rebound inside by Kang Sung-jae. Korea back in the lead. Their offense, though, looking stagnant. The timing just out of sync. There's a nice pick and pop. Kang can't make that one go, and Lee tips it out of bounds.
Players being rotated here by Kazakhstan. I think the players really are not in the condition to play a 40-minute game. So forcing Coach Trepkov to keep moving players in and out. They're playing with a short rotation. Jerry Johnson, don't think is going to be playing at all in this game. He's still on the bench. And Kolechnikov, as you were mentioning, we don't even see him on the bench of Kazakhstan.
There's Ponomarev. He's looking inside for Shagulan, who just checked back into the game, and he draws a foul inside from Kang Sung-jae.
First quarter, Korea went into penalty. That's something they need to watch. Tendency to give up fouls. They already have 2 team fouls in this quarter.
There's Ponomarev. He's capable of hitting from that range. Shagulan, he's more comfortable inside. A little hop into this move. He's double teamed. There's Galia fires with confidence and connects. What a shot from the backup point guard turned starter. And he retakes the lead for his team. It's 23-21. We're right on the midway point of the second quarter. We thought it may be a runaway performance from Korea as they prepared for the quarterfinals, but it certainly hasn't been the case so far.
Not at all. That's a great effort on the part of Kazakhstan, but a good move at turnaround.
Lee Jong-hyun with the basket. He's averaging 10 points in this tournament. And he showed he's more than capable of operating in the low post there.
Well, I think it's a big test here that Korean coach Kim Dang-kwon is putting on his reserves.
Some scrambling defense there from Korea, but they didn't hold their ground. They fouled Shagulan, and they'll give him the opportunity. In fact, it was Ponomarev inside. He'll have the opportunity from the free throw line.
Here's that turn by Ponomarev and the power move to try to coax that ball inside the hole.
We just see Lee, he had good position there. He didn't hold his ground. He lost his footwork, turned his body, and the referee had no option but to call the foul on him there.
But he's trying to hold the fort on his own. That's Lee. Jong-hyun, he needs some help underneath the boards. Kazakhstan has been able to control the tempo because of their excellent work on the boards. In the first quarter, in fact, Kazakhstan with 3 offensive boards and Korea none at all.
Korea with a couple of substitutions here, a couple of big names, Cho Sung-min and Young Dong-guen back into the ball game. And if you've just joined us, they led 17-8. They went to the reserves and the game swung immediately as Kazakhstan struck back. They now lead it by 2.
Now they're looking for some rhythm.
Here's Moon. Oh, tough shot. Oh, nice pass. Beautiful ball fake. It even threw me out. And he dished it inside to Lee Jong-hyun, who threw it down with 2 hands.
And Paul, that's because the threats are now on the floor. And Kazakhstan's defensive focus around the perimeter. That opens a situation for the big guy to throw it down.
2 assists for Moon. 7 points for Lee as Yargaliev works inside. Good help defense from Lee there. Away in transition, and that should be an unsportsmanlike foul. It was an awkward effort from Yargaliev. And
no gesture on the part of the referees to say whether it was a sportsmanlike. It looks like a regular foul right there.
Oh, that was awkward from Mirzagaliev, and we don't want to see that creeping into the game. He does apologize as we see the lovely feed inside from Moon and the cram jam from Lee Jong-hyun.
And that's what the presence of Yang and Cho Sung-min give Korea. Forces the defense to extend, and then Lee with the inside 2 points because he's got good position on the spacing.
Here's Cho. Drives, spins back the other way and fires. What a move.
Shot.
How about those skills from Cho Sung-min? He has 5 points. Korea back in the lead. It's 27-25 as Song commits the foul out the front.
Again, that foul of Korea puts him in a precarious situation. Next will be shooting situation on the penalty here for Kazakhstan.
In fact, that was Kang Song-ji with the foul. Here's Mirzagaliev, high screen from Ponomarev. Watch him pop. He doesn't get the ball, but Zagulin fires from long range. Good desperation from Kazakhstan. They might be on the bottom of the table. They might not be able to make the quarterfinals, but they are playing for pride here tonight. Here is Ponomarev. This time he can't make it drop. Yang Dongwen off the Cho. Good recovery, good help from Kazakhstan. Cho again feeds it out to the other side of the floor. The long three-pointer from Moon is no good. Kazakhstan doing a great job controlling the boards. Korea yet to pull in an offensive rebound.
It's been one and done here for Korea. And that three-point shot coming from Zagulin. We did say he's got that distance. The long ball falling for Zagulin.
He missed the first. He didn't let it deter him. And he puts his team back in front.
Kazakhstan holding its own against the regular starters now on the floor for Korea.
I just don't think Korea are aggressive enough at the basket. A lot of jump shots. That one misses. Yagaliev with the rebound. Oh, look at the dribbling there from Mirzagaliev, but one too many. The hand was in from Young, who turned the game against Lebanon with 8 steals in a half. And he is so active defensively. You'd think perhaps the other Korean guards would take a lead from their courageous leader. But so far tonight, they've been pretty passive defensively. They've given up 28 points after 18 minutes of play.
What about the rebounding discrepancy? That must be big at this point.
Well, the defensive rebounding numbers are similar, but 3 O-boards to Kazakhstan, not a single one to Korea. And there's some defensive hustle from Cho. Kim almost gave it away, he recovered. And now they're going to settle. Minute 22 to play until halftime.
2 new players on the floor here for Korea, giving them some more ceiling. Choi, he can create a mismatch over at the wing position.
He's tall and he's long. He looks a little uncomfortable with the ball that time. Well, that's a nice turnaround jump shot. Kang Song-ji looked very comfortable in that situation. His first basket of the night, and it's a seesawing, topsy-turvy clash here in Chongsha.
It's surprising Kazakhstan has been able to hang on and keep this game close, despite Ponomarev with only 4 points. Usually a big-time scorer here for Kazakhstan. And talking about Ponomarev, he's going to go to the foul line.
Foul on Kim Jong-yu. 3rd personal for the big man who mans the middle for Korea.
2 shots.
And they are certainly in a dog fight here after they burst out of the blocks early. Successful free throws, Kazakhstan back in top.
It's pendulum swinging here. A lot of lead changes so far in this first half. Been exciting.
Certainly been a fascinating contest between 2 very different teams. Inside, Kang with the pass. Tough shot there. Ambitious shot from Kim, and it turns over. Here's Sultanov, the smallest man on the court. Zagulin with a hop, step, a jump, a spin, a bump, and a basket. Persistence there from Alexander Zagulin.
Drawing applause from the crowd for a big man to put the ball on the floor behind the back dribbling. What a display of dexterity on his part.
Zagulin up to 5 points. Yang is fouled before he sneaks into the basket. Yang Dongwen just with 2 points. So far tonight, he spent quite a bit of time on the bench, and both teams will now spend a little bit of time on the bench. We've got a timeout. There's 4.8 seconds to play until halftime, and Kazakhstan lead it by 3.
Kazakhstan is going to have the last possession with 4.8 seconds to go. And if you're Kazakhstan, you know that Korea is in the penalty. You want to be aggressive in attacking. And if you're Korea, you don't want to give up the foul. You want to stand your ground to play tough defense. And that's probably the reason why Korea called this timeout. Coach Kim Dong-Kwan does not want to give up a shot with 4.8 seconds to go in this half. Kazakhstan still in the driver's seat, 32-29. Jerry Johnson not playing. Here's that shot coming from the baseline, and another baseline shot. Connections haven't been too consistent here for Korea. Cho Seung-min, what a beautiful turnaround.
That could have been the play of the first half. We said he needs to get going. They'd love him to keep going with a three-point shot to tie the scores here going into half-time. He's inbounding the basketball. The momentum's such a big thing going into breaks. Korea'd love to get a score. Here is the handoff. One dribble right, three-point shot. He got a good look, but he couldn't connect. And it's been that sort of half for Korea. They're just 2 of 11 from three-point land. And after 20 minutes, it's Kazakhstan who have suffocated their rivals from East Asia. They've climbed on the back of Dmitry Klimov with 14 points, and they lead it 32-29.
And Korea struggled from the floor in that loss to Qatar. They shot only 39% from the field, and now they're experiencing some problems once more. Although they're shooting 58% from two-point distance, they're not getting it done from three-point range, and that's where Korea is supposed to be deadliest. Rebounding, that has been controlled by Kazakhstan. That's +6, and no offensive rebound so far for Korea. Turnovers, a lot more for Kazakhstan. And the steals, of course, going to Korea's way because of those turnovers of Kazakhstan.
And it's been all the Lees so far for Korea, leading the points, the rebounds, and the assists.
And nobody in double-figure points for Korea, while Klimov already with 14 points for Kazakhstan. It's been that kind of a game. We were expecting the A game of Korea on the floor. We're not seeing it so far.
Lee Jong-hyun with 7 points to lead Korea. Moon Tae-young with 6. He hit them all in a brilliant burst to start the game. But since then, it's been acts like this from Kazakhstan. Klimov, he made a habit of just waltzing down Main Street and finishing. That time on the fast break, this time some brilliant passing between him and Smirnov. And here he was popping from long range. He's done it all at the offensive end. And here he is again, the tough finger roll over 2 defenders. And why wouldn't you be excited after play like that? That man's not so excited. Cho gave his coach something to smile about with that fall away, as did Lee with that one. A couple of tough shots, and credit to the Kazakhstan defense for making them hit such tough baskets. There's a nice feed inside, and Lee tucked it in. It's been all about momentum swings, lead changes. Shagulin checked in and popped a triple. Klimov liked it. He said that's what us Kazakhstani big men do. And Kazakhstan lead it 32-29 at halftime. Join us in about 5 minutes.
受，都有我始终如一的品质追求。用心付出，放心收获。用心自然好。湖南粮食集团。一双有你，吉祥连续，让人人都拥有健康养老保障。千亿央企，百强文化，陆放集团遍及全球，拥有百家海外企业，经历23深耕，正习携手，方粮食大厂布局全国。2016就要来光节，2016国际行业亚锦赛考福利长线赞助商。爱光节，就爱光节全效大奖品。2016就要来光节，2016国际行业亚锦赛考福利长线赞助商。爱光节，就爱光节全效大奖品。湖南建工集团，湖南省首家房屋建筑工厂总承包科级资质企业集团，连续12年入选中国企业500强，连续15年荣获70项中国建设工厂5等奖，致力打造成为集项目投资、运作、实施和经营能力于一体的总服务商，国内建筑业先锋企业，为国家经济和社会发展做出更大的贡献。血旺。SUV 要有型，要入境，开阔空间，KX3让拥有这一切，越为你所想，KX3创造越大气量。
观众朋友们，在您观看比赛的同时，我们提醒您，请您在观看比赛的时候，扫描您座位背后的FIBA国际篮联官方微博以及微信的2维码，关注FIBA国际篮联的官方微博与微信，即可有机会获得由比赛决定为您提供的精美奖品。同时，赛会的更多消息也可以在官方微博和微信上获取。
我是中国队郭艾伦，我是中国队李根，我是中国队王威仪。欢迎大家关注FIBA和体育篮联官方微博、微信。欢迎大家关注FIBA国际篮联官方微博、微信。关注大比赛，为我们加油！关注大比赛，为我们加油！关注大比赛，为我们加油！关注大比赛，为我们加油！
Almost ready to go for the second half here in Chongqing. It's Kazakhstan leading 32-29. I'm Paulo Kennedy. Alongside me is Juanito Henson, the man they call the Dean of Basketball in the Philippines. And well, Kazakhstan can't qualify for the quarterfinals. They've been playing for pride tonight. But Juanito, so far there hasn't been a lot of pride in the Korean performance.
I don't think so. With the way they're playing, I thought they would bring their A game to the table. But in the first half, it's been the rebounding power of Kazakhstan that's dominating the play. And for Korea, if they can't get their outside shooting going, they're in trouble. They're hitting only 20% from the three-point distance in this game. In fact, Kazakhstan has outshot them from three-point distance. And only 2 three-point connections so far for Korea.
Well, Korea averaged 79 points per game in this tournament. They shoot 43% from long range as Moon draws a foul and a tough drive to his left hand. But so far today, 29 points in a half, 2 of 10 from long range. So some real concerns.
No secret in how to beat Korea. I think Qatar made that clear as you see that slow motion replay right there.
Tough drive.
Moon Tae-young drawing the contact in that move towards the basket. And talking about the formula to beat Korea, Qatar showed it. You hold them down from the three-point distance, you close out, you force them into a half-court set, and that's what killed Korea against Qatar. And it's killing Korea now.
Moon was the man who sparked Korea early in the first quarter with 6 quick points. He gets them a fast start here in the third quarter. Of course, Korea led by 9, but Kazakhstan finished the first half on a 24-12 run to pinch the lead at the main break, and Yang Dong-Gran pinches the ball. What play from the veteran point guard.
A 2-3 zone alignment that time for Korea, creating that turnover.
Mirzagaliev gives Lee Song-gyun a hug down in the low block to prevent a mismatch down there. So it'll be side ball to Korea, and we see that little bit of affection here.
And Lee Sung-hyun, you want him to get going if you're Korea. Only with 2 points so far in this game. He's been a hot scorer for them. He's averaging 11.2 points a game.
There is Youngis. It's an offensive foul called on Lee on the handoff to his point guard. So still, Kazakhstan hold on to that lead.
There's just no efficiency in the way Korea is moving that ball and getting the shots to flow.
You see on the replay an excellent call from the official. Zone defense again from Korea. It's a sliding zone from a 3-2 to a 2-3. Klimov muscles his way inside, but he wasn't strong enough. And away to the races is Cho Sung-min, and he scores his 7th point of the game and puts Korea back in front.
And the first 2 transition points for Korea in the entire game, and that's what you need from Korea. Quickness, speed. There's a foul that they'll call. It might be on Moon.
I believe so. A little tangling going on away from the ball, and that's a remarkable statistic. The first transition point for Korea. That is generally their bread and butter. We see this zone. It shapes as a 2-1-2 here. And we'll see the players slide around depending on what the offense does. Yang almost with the steal. He forces the mistake. Shot clock at 9. Here's Sultanov. Tough drive to the basket. Oh, what a follow-up by Yargaliev. And it's been the story of the day so far. Kazakhstan has just wanted it more.
The effort from Kazakhstan making that play possible.
Nice feed to the top. Cho for a 3-pointer. He misses. It'll be Korean ball.
But you like the outside pass there for Korea. Looking for Cho. Get him on track. This is a team that averages 17.8 assists a game. So you want to see that ball movement from Korea.
There's a whole lot of averages slowly dropping for Korea as this game wears on, and Ilin knocks Lee to the floor away from the basket. That's a 3rd team foul already from Kazakhstan. We haven't played 2 minutes yet in this third quarter.
I think the reason why they're giving up a lot of fouls is because they see Korea now moving the ball a lot better. So they want to slow down the game. They're trying to be a little physical in their defense. And as a result, they're getting fouls one after the other.
Ball movement and player movement, that's the key and the trademark for Korea. That time Klimov with the steal. He's been outstanding so far today. Got 14 points and 4 rebounds in a half of basketball. Again, Young gambling for the steal. Ilan from outside, he's struggled in the tournament. He continues to struggle. And now another transition opportunity. Look at this, Young, what a bounce pass inside to Moon. When Young has the ball, good things happen for Korea.
They're racing up court. They're finding the openings, and they're attacking inside.
Still, they sit in this passive zone defense, allowing Kazakhstan to execute. There's one man being disruptive. It's Yang Dong-Guen. That time, some good help inside from Kim Jong-kyu. He stood tall with his arms straight in the air, and Kazakhstan have 7 seconds left to get a shot up. Ilan again, this time from closer in, and this time a better result.
And Ponomarev with an assist pass, recognizing who was going to be open out of that play.
If you're Korea, do you stay in this zone? Do you go to man? Do you change to a trapping zone?
I want them to play a zone defense, but they need to be able to close out. It's got to be a very aggressive zone.
Outstanding pass inside from Lee. He found Moon. He scored 6 points to start the game. He scored 6 points to start this third quarter, and he leads Korea with 12. Cut inside from Sultanov. Lee recovers it. 4-on-2 opportunity here for Korea. Moon again. Oh, ambitious bounce pass. It gets through. A nice left-hand finish from Kim. And they force Kazakhstan to call a timeout. Some promising signs here for Korea. So we see this bounce pass. He thread the eye of the needle. Lovely up fake from Kim. And he finishes it with the left hand.
Much better ball movement here for Korea in this quarter.
3 or 4 transition opportunities so far for Korea. They're starting to play a little bit like a world-class team. And we're about to take a look at some world-class players from around international basketball that you can see at a FIBA competition near you. We saw a dunk party there on that little promo. It was a dunk party earlier when China defeated Qatar to take top spot in Group F. Korea are locked into 3rd spot. Kazakhstan will finish down the bottom in 6th place.
Now, no matter what happens in this game, whether Korea loses or Korea wins, the spot is firm. Korea will finish 3rd in this bracket of the 2nd round. And that means Korea will be up against Iran in the knockout quarterfinals.
Little pressing defense here from Korea. It was a timid trap though. Shot clock down to 11. Sultanov to Yagaliev. Inside to Ponomarev. He's going to have to fire. He kicks it out. Sultanov just before the shot clock expires. In fact, he misses rim. It's a 24-second violation. Coach Strepkov rolls his eyes. But he couldn't be disappointed with the effort of his team so far. They are undermanned. No Jerry Johnson, no Anatoly Kalashnikov, who doesn't appear to be with the team here tonight. And yet they're still within 3 of a full-strength Korea, almost halfway through the 3rd quarter. Nice little pick and pop there between Young and Lee Song-hyun. Extends the margin out to 5.
It's been a different Korea team here answering the bell in the 3rd quarter. They're passing the ball, they're moving very well, and their defense has been outstanding with the 2-3.
They've been extending that zone out a little bit more the last couple of minutes. Of course, the concern for them is without a prime-time shot blocker in the middle, they don't want to expose the belly of their defense, but look at this time, scrambling, harassing, shot clock violation once again. In fact, the referees will let this one play as Young is fouled. That's the 4th on Kazakhstan for the quarter. So from here on in, Korea heading to the free throw line.
Kazakhstan shots have been all under duress. A tight 2-3 zone defense has worked here for Korea. You watch the pick and pop situation and using the window to get the basket.
Korea by 5. Can they blow this game open as so many expected them to? What a spin move from Lee. Lee Song-hyun with the spin to the right hand. He finished inside. He gives his team a 7-point lead.
And slowly Korea's offense is breaking down this defense of Kazakhstan with great ball movement.
Ilan, he's had a nightmare from three-point range in this tournament. Sagulan inside off the feed from Ponomarev, and he earns himself 2 free throws. Pavel Ilan, 19% from long range, I think, but he's 0 for 3 so far today. You've got to give him points for persistence as Sagulan flies to the basket and draws the foul.
Lee Jong-hyun checking in for number 15 Kim Jong-kyu. That's 4 personal fouls on Kim, and that's the reason for the replacement.
You can hear a pin drop inside the arena at the moment, in stark contrast to earlier on the day when Yi Jianlian and Zhou Peng were putting on a show. And the crowd slowly filtering out as we approach 10:30 in the evening here in Cheongsha. It's a 6-point lead to Korea. Here's Moon, 12 points for him, feeling confident and nailing it. Wow, what a turnaround this has been from Moon Tae-young after some struggles earlier in the tournament.
Exactly, he's finding his confidence. He's getting the spacing for his shots. And right now, 14 points for him.
Again, that should be an unsportsmanlike foul. It was a breakaway. But after some criticism of one of those fouls yesterday, they're a little gun shy, and that is not a play at the basketball. Now, I mentioned in previous games the hashtag free the fast break. You want to see the high-flying action at the end of the fast break rather than the groping action in the middle of it.
Cho Sung-min looking to add to Korea's total and widen the gap. Some of the fans hanging around here, watching the action.
A lot of youngsters in the stadium for all the games so far in this tournament. Lots of them with Chinese flags on their cheeks or waving Chinese flags themselves. And so far it's been fun to be a Team China fan. They're undefeated, the #1 seed, and they'll face India in the quarterfinals.
Biggest lead in the game, 10 points.
Cho on the drive. Moon catch and shoot, that one's short. And look at Lee flying in, he puts it in. He draws the foul, and it's been a different Korea team since halftime.
He's been so active now underneath the boards. You also feel that Pomonarev and Zigulin, who were very active around the boards in the first half, might be a little tired. They've been playing extended minutes. And now's an opportunity for Korea to
Look
break
at that
away.
finish. Korea now on a 23-5 run. It seemed that Kazakhstan had all the momentum. Yang with a steal, feeds it inside to Cho and he misses. And that's the way to kill momentum as the crowd sighs. Sultanov races down the floor. It's a good covering defense there from Moon, stops the 3-point attempt. Here's Sultanov. Marchuk along the baseline and he throws it to the referee. The referee steps out of the way and says Korea ball.
Hasn't been that kind of a tournament for Marchuk, throwing the ball to someone who wasn't there for the pass.
After a breakdown like that, Kazakhstan coach Vitaly Strebkov says, let's talk about a few things, fellas. We've got a timeout here in Cheongsha with Korea leading by 13.
Korea slowly breaking the game open. Inside 2 points coming from Moon. It's been a good offensive show for Moon, and it's nice to see him on track offensively, and Korea will certainly need his offense in the knockout quarterfinals when they play Iran.
He's got such a nice stroke from mid-range. It's Hard to believe how much he was struggling early in the tournament. Coming into this game, he was 0 of 2 from the three-point line and shooting just 36% from inside the arc, but he certainly dusted off the cobwebs tonight.
Well, he's someone who's a big-time scorer, and you will rely on Moon Tae-young, not only for points, but also for his defense and his presence underneath the boards for rebounding. You see him there on your screens, Tae-young Moon, with what he's done so far.
You talk about big-time scoring. The 37-year-old, he played for Richmond College in the NCAA in 1997-98. He averaged 19 points per game and 6 rebounds. It was a long time ago, but you don't lose that sort of ability. Of course, he has an American father, a Korean mother. He spent the last 6 seasons playing in the Korean Basketball League, and he's taken over the duties as the naturalized player from his brother, Moon Tae-jung. Of course, in America, they're known as Jared and Greg Stevenson. Here's Yang Dong-gwen. He's known as a superstar in Korean basketball. This time he feeds Lee and he splashes the 3.
That offense wasn't there for Lee in the first half. Now he's feeling it. And the big reason is Korea is in the flow of things. And looks like still Kazakhstan ball. That 2-3 zone defense has done very well here for Korea.
We've said a number of times in this tournament, you can play whatever defense, whatever offense, but if you don't do it with intensity, it doesn't matter. There's certainly been a change in attitude from Korea after half-time, and there needed to be. See them sliding all over the court. Look at the intensity. The big man Lee steps out to the perimeter, but the big man Jagulian nails it from the perimeter and just keeps Kazakhstan within touch. They're down by 13.
He's a distant shooter. But if you're Kazakhstan, you also want to get the ball in the hands of Ponomarev, the big-time scorer. He only has 6 points in the game. Hey, but if Jagulian is getting the shots to fall from that distance, why not?
Inside to Lee Jong-hyun. His jump shot misses. Marzagaliev, he turns it over. Some good pressure defense from Cho. And look at the despair on the face of Mirzagaliev. He got the start today. He's had 3 points, 4 assists. 1 of 2 from the three-point line, so he certainly hasn't disgraced himself.
The 2 big guns of Korea going to the bench. Yang and Cho, they've done their job here in the 3rd period.
You know, they did their job in the opening period and Korea led by 9. They went to the bench and things swung pretty quickly. Let's see what happens here. There's a nice pass inside. Lee Song-hyun finds Lee Jong-hyun under the basket and he finishes.
You don't see the conviction any longer from the interior defense of Kazakhstan. They're not being very aggressive in defending that painted area.
Well, there's Mirzagaliev with a floater from about 15 feet. He floated it up and in, an impressive move from the youngster. Kim Tae-sil into the ball game. Lee to Choi. Back to Kim. Mid-range jump shot. He looks very comfortable in that situation. He's hit 2 of them tonight. He's got 4 points.
But with this combination on the floor, Korea is not pressuring. You know, when you have Cho and you have Yang on the floor, they're putting a lot of pressure on the ball carrier of Kazakhstan. And right now, Korea is matched against Kazakhstan, and they're playing the same kind of style of game. It's the half-court set.
Yep. And we talked about the intensity. Young brings the intensity. Cho brings the intensity. That time there was a nice deflection from Moon, and he fires from mid-range and hits. He is up to 16 points. He got the steal at one end, the bucket at the other, and the lead is now 17.
And that's good news for Coach Kim Dong-kwon, because he'll need that offense against Iran from Moon Tae-young.
Yagaliev along the baseline. He sneaks it along. Comes to the top now. Another floater from Mirzagaliev. Wasn't second time lucky, but Shagulin's inside, and he pops it in. 11 points now for Alexander Jagulin.
Kazakhstan's in the penalty. Korea, are they aware
Final
how
play.
much time is left?
Oh, nice move from Choi. It misses. 1 second on the clock. Ponomarev won't even fire. And it was all Korea in the third quarter. They scored 30 points to 12. They upped the defense. They shot it with confidence. And they take a 15-point lead into the final break. It's Korea 59, Kazakhstan 44.
When the starters were in for Korea, it was a different flow of the offense. Cho and Yang getting the job done. 2-point distance, 65% shooting for Korea. But Kazakhstan still outscoring Korea in terms of 3-point connections. Rebounding story, Kazakhstan with the edge. That's been the big strength of Kazakhstan. But getting the ball movement is Korea. And what about those 15 turnovers against Kazakhstan? We talked about how the change of defense has given impetus to Korea's attack, and Coach Kim Dong-kwon, very animated, very active on the sidelines. Talk about Cho and Young combining in the third period.
Moon was the third wheel in that operation. Coach Strebkov, he knew his team's under man. There's no Jerry Johnson, no Kalashnikov. He urges them to keep going, and Yagaliev answered the call with a nice little hustle play inside. Coach Kim did not like that. He said, spread the floor. Young did. He found Lee. And a tough little banker from in front of the basket. This time it was the spin move to the left hand. And Lee Song-hyun with 12 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals for good measure. He's certainly upped his game ahead of the quarterfinal matchup with Iran.
And at the end of the half, it was Kazakhstan ahead by 3. And what a turnaround in the third period, as Korea is now up by 15. Kazakhstan held to just 12 points in the entire third period. Assist totals for Korea, it was 7 at the end of the half, and right now they're up to 12, so 5 assists chalked up by Korea in the third quarter alone, and they had 7 in the entire first half.
2-3 zone, Korea scrambling again, ends up with Ma Chuk in the corner, and he buries a 3. In fact, his foot was on the line, his first 2 points of the evening. Tae-sul, nice little feed, and a shuffle of the feet there from Kang Saint-ji.
A little bit of hesitation that time. Referees on the ball in making that call. Composed look on the face of Coach Kim Dong-kwon.
Be a much happier man than at halftime, but the margin is still only 13. There could be some work to do. Kazakhstan with some dangerous 3-point shooters who could bridge the margin fairly quickly. Here's one of them. He's inside. He goes out to Ma Chuk. He tries the floater that Mirzagaliev did so well in the third quarter. An offensive board. Here's Yagaliev. He steps into a 3-point shot with confidence, and that's why. Nine points for Yagaliev. The margin's just 10. Is there one more comeback left in Kazakhstan? Mirzagaliev says yes as he picks the pocket of Kim. And while he may have looked composed a few minutes ago, Coach Kim is not a happy man here as we see the defensive play from Mirzagaliev. He uses the full extent of his 2 steps and he lays it in. And it's a timeout Korea. And it's back to an 8-point lead.
And you see some inconsistencies here in the way Korea has been playing throughout the competition. In fact, the second game of Korea against China, they were ahead for much of the game. In fact, I think they might have been ahead for about 38 out of the 40 minutes. And then they let go in the last 2 minutes, and China won 76-73. And then they lost to Qatar. And that victory over Lebanon.
Pops open, he fires a 2 and he hits. His third 2-point basket of the evening and a much needed one for Korea. Little exchange between Mirzagaliev and Ponomarev, and Kim comes up with a steal. Hands it off. Lovely feed, and flying to the basket is Lee Jung-hun. He finishes off, and A mini run here from Korea just to answer the challenge from Kazakhstan. Lee Jung-hyun up to 5 points.
And the adjustment in the defense of Korea, now playing a man-to-man. Pomanarev, a very rare touch for him.
And they switch to man-to-man. Straight away some penetration from Yargaliev, and Coach Kim will not be happy with that. If they're going to win knockout finals, they've got to get down in their stance and slide their feet, because they don't have the size inside to cover when penetration gets through.
And if you're Kazakhstan, reading what the defense gives you, Pomanarev getting the pass inside and using his strength and power. Try to get the basket, that's why he's at the line.
He's had an impressive tournament. Anton Ponomarev, 12 points per game, 10 rebounds, 2 steals. Those are good numbers by anyone's measure. And down the middle, that's a good move by anyone's measure by Choi Yoon-yong. He slams down his first points in style, and the lead is 12 once again. Ponomarev working hard inside. Marcher kicks it out to Mirzagaliev. Good defense this time from Korea. Shagulim will have to fire from long range, and he misses. Choi away again. He's an athlete. This man is a terrier. Lee Jung-hyun and Kim Tae-sul waxing at the top of the key wave for the Korean guards. Tough shot there for Lee, and it's a turnover. .6:37 to play in this one. Kazakhstan close enough if they're good enough, but mistakes like that will make it difficult. And flying down the middle once again is Choi.
They like the ball in his hands. I mean, this guy's a slasher. He's got that length, tremendous athletic ability. You can get your fans going.
Fans love athleticism.
Here's a switch off the pick.
Nice feed inside. Ponomarev can't get it to go as he's clipped on the arm by Lee Jung-hyun. His first personal foul. That's a nice feed inside. A breakdown defensively for Korea. And here is that move from Choi. He elevated, he set it nighty-night, and he tucked it in.
Ponomarev, he's getting his touches now in the fourth period, recognizing the man-to-man defense of Korea, going one-on-one, making good use of his power and strength, and he's lifted off the floor here by Smirnov.
Ponomarev, 8 of 9 from the free throw line, 10 points, 7 boards, 2 assists, so he can certainly hold his head high. Lob pass inside for Choi, kicks it back out to Lee. His pass is interrupted. It'll be a Korean ball from the sideline with 10 on the shot clock. Kang Sung-ji into the ball game for Korea. Kim with a nice move, but it's deflected by Mirzagaliev. This time Korea step in with the foul. And once again, despite it being the last defender, no unsportsmanlike call. It'll be side ball.
That would be the third team foul for Korea in this quarter.
Marchuk along the baseline, he slipped, comes up hobbling. He gets the ball back. He says, I'm feeling a little sore, you do something with it. He kicks it off to Mirza, who kicks it straight back to him, and he fires the three. It doesn't drop. And Korea just 5 minutes and 22 seconds away from their third victory of this stage of the group. Their fourth victory overall in this championship. Here's Kim. He's short on the jumper. He follows it up, gets it again. And this game just starting to approach A little bit of garbage time as both teams see the result close to being settled as Choi is double teamed, and I think we'll have a shot clock violation there. We do. So some good aggressive defense that time from Kazakhstan. We see Marchuk limping from the court. He may have rolled his ankle along the baseline as Sultanov checks in, and we see some excitement from the crowd. Not sure what that was about. Maybe Yao Ming was leaving the building.
Or maybe the clapping for Marchuk, but I doubt it.
Lead inside, here's Smirnov. He has it knocked away. He scraps on the ground for it, gets it back inside. Nice fake from Klimov, and he finishes with the left hand. Maxim.
Good inside position from the post pass.
Dmitry Klimov up to 16 points. Margin back to 10. Once again, Kazakhstan close enough if they're good enough. We see Choi limping away from the basketball. Kim fires from long range and connects. Tough shot with Sultanov in his face. We're going to have a break in play here as I think Choi is going to limp from the court. Looks like he's favouring one ankle. So we see Kim put a little dagger into the heart of Kazakhstan. It's 70-57, 4 minutes to play. Klimov at the top, looking inside for Smirnov, and blocked.
Still working hard, however.
Nice block from Kim Jong-kyu. Here he is at the other end, sliding to the hoop. Then he falls away and hits the jumper.
And that's a speed game of Korea. They want that. They want that transition. And whether they get the layup shot or the big guy turning around for the jump shot, they'll take it. That's the quickness Korea needs in its offense.
There was quickness in that spin move from Dmitry Klimov. He finishes with the left hand. He's 7 of 9 from two-point territory. He's got 18 points. He's hit a triple. He's got 4 boards. Nice move as he copped the knock across the bridge of the nose and still finished the job.
I think that's what Korea really needs to work on. The defense at the post. And they're going to be matched up against Korea in the knockout quarterfinals. You've got Ehadadi, who can hurt you from the post. You've got Karduz, Hazanzadeh, Sahakian. Those are big guys. And Korea's bigs, well, the challenge will be for them to stop Iran from taking control from the post area.
Lee trying to take control of this one as we've got a foul on the rebound on Kim Jong-kyu. That'll be his 5th, so his night ends a little early. And Lee Song-hyun back into the ball game for the final 3:15.
That's 5 personal fouls. And we were talking about the matchup in the knockout quarterfinals between Iran and Korea. Well, the other matchups are Japan versus Qatar, India versus China, and the Philippines versus Lebanon.
What a matchup that is. Of course, Tab Baldwin, the coach of Philippines, a former coach of Lebanon.
That's right. Tab Baldwin coached Lebanon in the 2010 World Championships in Turkey.
He's coached Lebanon, Jordan, Philippines, and New Zealand, who he led to the top 4 at the FIBA World Championships in 2002, as we see a foul there. Of course, coaching New Zealand alongside Nenad Vucinic, who now coaches club basketball in Lebanon.
And falling by the wayside out of the second round. In the other group, Palestine and Hong Kong not crossing over. And in this group, Jordan and Kazakhstan out of contention.
They'll play off in some classification games as Kim ambles his way along the baseline and lays it up for 2. 11 points for Kim Tae-sil. The fans getting involved once again. They were boisterous.
I think they like Sultanov because he's the smallest man on the floor. You know, the underdog always gets the attention of the crowd. Smallest man on the floor. When he has possession, the crowd goes crazy.
There they go again as he looks to inbound the basketball. He hasn't scored yet tonight. The crowd will indeed go crazy if he does manage to get on the board. 2:20 to play. We're almost home, folks. And so are Korea. They lead it by 14. They'll finish in third spot. They'll play Iran, as we said earlier. And Mirzagaliev picking up the foul there.
Yeah, it'll just be the second team foul against Kazakhstan. Consistency is an issue that Korea must tackle. Moving into the knockout quarterfinals, as you see Choi getting the ice treatment there on his, looked like the hamstring. And there's a foul inside off the pump fake.
Hong Sung-jae is averaging 4 points and 2 rebounds in this tournament.
You know, it's been a grueling grind, as you see the replay right there in the foul. Trey Johnson didn't play for Qatar in an earlier contest, and he's resting. Qatar, of course, will be playing Japan in the knockout quarterfinals. Jerry Johnson also didn't play. We don't know if it's a health issue with Jerry. But Kazakhstan certainly could have used him in this game.
Hong Sung-jae makes both free throws. He levels his tournament average of 4, and there was a calf concern for Jerry Johnson earlier in the tournament. It could be that he is just resting with the quarterfinals out of reach. This game is almost out of reach for Kazakhstan. They trail by 16. 2 minutes to play.
And once more, he's got possession. The crowd is roaring every time Sultanov has the ball.
Well, all that's left in this one is to get that young man, or in fact, he is a veteran of 34 years of age. He wants to score. He fires from long range. He misses.
Oh, that would have brought the house down if he only connected.
And the fans have had a good time in this tournament. Usually they've enjoyed themselves the most when China's been playing, but they are having a ball as we count down the seconds in this one.
And you have to like the attitude of the fans. I thought they'd be filing out after China played its game, but they've stayed around. And even with this big lead of Korea and the outcome virtually settled, they're still here. They're hanging around. They're cheering every time Sultanov gets the ball.
Still 1,000 or so supporters in the building. It was close to 6,000 earlier when China played, and that's about the capacity of this stadium. Here's Mirzagaliev. Sultanov to the basket. And if the referees had a sense of theatre, they would call a foul and get Sultanov to the free throw line.
Especially since Korea has the penalty. There's Jerry Johnson, we were talking about him.
He's enjoying the
missing
moment.
element, yeah.
And if Vitaly Strebkov wanted to be the villain of this crowd, he'd sub Sultanov out of the game as, oh, nice pass. Marchuk, his ankle's feeling better. His passing isn't any better, however, and he turns that one over.
Got a smack on the face there. It's Kim Tae-sul.
63 seconds left for Timur Sultanov to get on the scoreboard and give this crowd something to go bananas over. We've got a timeout, perhaps for Coach Strebkov to plan the play that'll get his reserve point guard a couple of points.
But it looks like Korea calling the timeout, so you wonder what they want to talk about. I guess some final execution here in their offense.
You're ruining a good story with facts there, Cornito. So you see Moon leading the way for Korea with 16 points. Lee Song-hyun, he has 12. And Kim Tae-sul with 11. It's Dmitry Klimov with 19 for Kazakhstan. Alexander Zhigulin with 11. And Anton Ponomarev with 10. It's been the big men who have done the damage for Kazakhstan, with Jerry Johnson confined to the bench.
So interesting combination here on the floor for Korea. It's a mix of reserves and starters. And Moon Tae-young is checking back in. Lee Seung-hyun on the floor. They obviously want a connection on this play. Let's see what kind of offense they run. Coming up this timeout, they want a good execution. They certainly want a conversion.
Man-to-man defense from Kazakhstan. We tick on a minute to play, and Moon catches, Moon fires, and Moon shines with a 3-point basket there.
Well executed play off the timeout. They stacked it on one side, and then they brought someone out of the weak side to the strong side, and
Here he
Sultanov.
is. Oh, he almost banked that one in from long range.
I don't think there's a smaller player than Sultanov in this entire tournament.
Just 178 centimeters, which I say just, he's only 2 centimeters shorter than myself. Oh, nice feed inside, but it's cut out by Mirzagaliev. There's 23 seconds left to play. In fact, it's called a Kazakhstan ball, so one last opportunity for Sultanov to get some score. The crowd is going bonkers here in Chongsha.
Why not Korea give up the foul when Sultanov has the ball? No, they don't do that.
He's in the corner away from the ball. Klimov, does he have a sense of theatre? He doesn't. He takes it to the basket. He scores with the left hand. He takes his total to 21. But he leaves the crowd disappointed.
Well, he's looking at a personal high, I guess. You watch Klimov. He's been outstanding offensively in this game.
He's somewhat gangly on the drive, but he is effective. He makes that. 8 seconds left. The dreams of the crowd of Sultanov scoring are over. And so is this game. Kazakhstan led it at halftime by 3. Korea pumped up the volume in the second half.
And
That man Moon, he was outstanding. He gave them the lead. So was Cho, so was Yang Dong-Guen. They were the stars, and Korea prevails 79 to 63 here in Chongsha.
Good effort overall here for Korea, starting with reserves and then getting their key players coming in off the bench. 67% shooting for Korea from 2-point distance. Not bad for Kazakhstan at 56. 3-pointers, both even. And Kazakhstan with the edge in rebounding, with Korea making that gap a little closer in the fourth period. But those 20 turnovers, those miscues certainly hurt Kazakhstan.
There are the scoring leaders, the rebound leaders, and the assist leaders. Mirzagaliev got the start for Kazakhstan. He had 7 dimes, an impressive performance from the 21-year-old. In fact, he's a 23-year-old Rustam Mirzagaliev. He played at the World Military Championships in 2011. And there we see Ponomarev, 7 boards. He also had 10 points, 2 assists.
And as a result, Korea has upped its record in the second round to 3-2. That matches the record of Qatar. And because of the winner over the other rule in FIBA competitions, Qatar will lock in at number 2, and Korea will settle for number 3. And a knockout quarterfinal matchup for Korea against Iran.
There were some bright sparks for Kazakhstan. But without 2 of their stars playing, they couldn't keep up the pace. Korea put the foot down. Here was a nice finish inside by Choi. He impressed Coach Kim. He said, do more of it, keep going. So he did. He flew in through the skies and jammed that one down with 2 hands. The fans were impressed. They're having a good time. Strong to the basket there from Cho. He had 9 points. He had 2 steals as well, and that defense from he and Yang Dong-Guen was important in the third quarter when Korea blew this game apart. Korea were too good in the end. They have a win